वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवम्. So devotees, welcome to the third canto, chapter 1, verse number 26 to 31. So today we will see what are the other questions that Shri Vidurji is having.
I think we have to do 25. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 25.
Rao Prabhu, are you sharing the screen?
Yes, he's sharing, Prabhu.
I somehow can't see that.
Yeah, it can be seen, Prabhu.
We can see it.
Hare Krishna.
I'll stop and share again, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
in case it was a problem. Is it visible, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
Savasudevanucharam Shantam Brihaspate Praktanayam Patitam Alingya Gadham Pranayena Bhadram Swanama Prachidda Bhagavat Prajanam.
Yes, Prabhu. Then, due to his great love and feeling, Vidur embraced him, that is Uddhav, who was a constant companion of Lord Krishna and formerly a great student of Brahaspati. Vidur then asked him for news of the family of Lord Krishna, the personality of the Godhead. Vidur was older than Uddhav, like a father, and therefore, when the two met, Uddhav bowed down before Vidur, and Vidur embraced him because Uddhav was younger, like a son. Uddhav brothers Pandu was Lord Krishna's uncle, and Uddhav was the cousin of Lord Krishna. According to social custom, therefore, Vidur was to be respected by Uddhav on the level of his father. Uddhav was a great scholar in logic, and he was known to be a son of or disciple of Brahaspati, the greatly learned priest and spiritual master of the demigods. Vidur asked Uddhav about the welfare of the relatives, although he already knew that they were no longer in the world. This inquiry appears to be very queer, but Srila Jiva Goswami states that the news was shocking to Vidur, who therefore inquired again due to great curiosity. Thus, his inquiry was psychological and not practical. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, a few things that how we should meet each other, the customs have been given by the Lord, that when Vidur embraced Uddhava, Before that, Uddhav being younger to Vidur, though Uddhav was a great logician, he was a disciple of Brahaspati and he knew so many things more. But that does not mean that we should not respect our elders. So when somebody in age and knowledge is bigger than you, greater than you, so he should be respected. So Vidur's, so there were two things over there. Vidur, the brother of Pandu and Lord Krishna's uncle, and Uddhav was the cousin of Krishna. So social customs have been followed over here. And another thing that they talk about the psychological and not practical is over here. There are times when you know certain things, but just for reaffirmation, you will ask again. It's not that you do not understand what has happened, but here it is psychological. So Srila Jiva, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also mentions that when Vidur embraced Uddhava and asked him this question, Uddhav did not respond. Why? Because when this question was asked, Uddhav fainted because he could not tolerate the separation from Lord Krishna. So this is normally a devotee's mindset. A devotee actually cannot bear the separation from the Lord. And we have seen this in Ramayana also, that what happened to Dashrath Maharaj. First and foremost, he could not have children for many, many years. After being aged, then the children came. A few years the kids were there. Then the kids were taken to the ashram. And then Vashishta ashram, there they spent time over there, almost 10 years. Then they came back. And as soon as they came back, who took them away? Anybody can tell me? कौन लेके चला गया राम और लक्ष्मण को?
विश्वामित्र
विश्वामित्र लेकर चला गया. तो मतलब आप देखिए कि पहला बच्चा होने में टाइम हुआ. या एंड देन जब बच्चा हुआ, थोड़ा सा बच्चा बड़ा हुआ, 5 साल का, गुरुकुल चला गया. 15-16 साल की उम्र में वापस आया तो कौन लेके चला गया? विश्वामित्र लेके गए. फिर वो सीता को ब्याह कर लेकर आए भगवान, और जब भी उनका राज्याभिषेक होना था, 14 साल का वनवास हो गया. So then this was too much for Dashrath. He said, it is better that now he has gone away. I'll quit my body and I go to Vaikuntha, Ayodhya straight, and be there waiting for him over there. So this is the devotee's condition. What happened to the gopis when Krishna suddenly disappeared? They almost fainted. They didn't know what to do. What happened to Akrura when he saw Krishna's Swarup as Narayana? He was almost dazed. So these are the impact of the pure devotee when Krishna is not seen by them. And it happens to most of us also. आप लोग सुबह उठ के जब तक deities को नहीं देखोगे घर में, so you will also feel something is missing. Or you go for a tour, leaving your deities, if you cannot carry them. The moment when you are on way back, your mind is fully concentrated that what services can be done, how the deities were living. So how many of you feel this way in your practical life? आज मंदिर नहीं गया, मंदिर जाना चाहिए, भगवान के दर्शन करने चाहिए.
भाई तो प्रभु, अगर जब पूरा नहीं होता है तो मतलब नहीं होने का तो सवाल ही नहीं है, लेकिन उससे बहुत इनकम्प्लीट रहता है.
Very true. Jap also is a way of having Krishna's darshan through Nama. Absolutely right. That's a good point. So if there is nothing, then we can go to the next verse. Kachit Purano Purusho Swanabhaya Padmanuvrittayeha Kilavatirnao Ashat Utvaya Kushalam Vidhaya Krita Kashav Kushalam Suragehe.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Please tell me whether the original personalities of Godhead who incarnated themselves at the request of Brahma, who is born out of the lotus flower from the Lord, and who have increased the prosperity of the world by elevating everyone, are doing well in the house of Surasana. Purport, Surasena. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna and Balram are not two different personalities of Godhead. God is one without a second, but he expands himself in many forms without their being separate from one another. They are all planetary expansions. The immediate expansion of Lord Krishna is Baladev, and Brahma, born from the lotus flower from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, is an expansion of Baladeva. This indicates that Krishna and Baladeva are not subjected to the regulations of the universe. On the contrary, the whole universe is under their subjudiction. They appeared at the request of Brahma to liberate the burden of the world, and they revealed the world by many superhuman activities, so that everyone became happy and prosperous. Without the grace of the Lord, no one can become happy or prosperous, because the happiness of the family of the Lord's devotees depend on the happiness of the Lord. Vidra first of all inquired about the well-being of the Lord. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, two things over here. That Vidura was interested to know how Krishna and Balram, his Aradhya, are staying in Shurasena's house, that is in Dwarka. Second thing what he is telling about is that how Brahma, who comes from the Nabhi of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, is an expansion of Baladeva, because Krishna expands into Balram, and then Balram takes charge of everything. So Krishna and Balram, identically they are same, but mood-wise they are different. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj writes that Krishna is in the mood of an enjoyer, and Balram is in a mood of serving. So Balram, though he is the equal to personality of Godhead, and their complexion is just different, one is dark and one is bright, his mood is that now that I have come, how do I serve Krishna? So right from being Krishna's flute, Krishna's paduka, Krishna's vastra, Krishna's paraphernalia, expands into Krishna's, that is through Sandhini Shakti, he expands into the whole Golok Dham, Vaikunth Dham, Bhulok, everything. So everything is Balram. And then he becomes the Ananta Shesha also, so that the Lord can sleep over it. So in whichever way you see, Balram always is thinking, how do I serve Krishna? So much so that in the Ram Leela, who is Balram?
Lakshman ji.
Lakshman ji, correct. So, but Lakshman ka position kya tha Ram ke samne? He was a younger brother. So when the Leela was finished and when they met back in the Vaikuntha Ayodhya, so the story goes like, they say, Lakshman says that in the next Janma, I will play the role of the elder brother. So then the Lord is smiling. He said, why Lakshman, you got tired of serving me in the Ram Leela, that you decide that you will take service from me? So Lakshman says, no, that's not the case. Whatever tribulations that you had to go through as an elder brother, and I could not support you much. So in the next Janma, whatever, as an elder brother, I will take all the tribulations so that you can be relaxed and you can enjoy, because I cannot see you suffering. I cannot see you taking pains. The pains should be mine and the enjoyment should be yours. So this is the mindset of a devotee. This is the mindset of a guru. And Balram is the Adi Dev, Adi Guru. So Balram is teaching us by example. And you see that in the Krishna's Leela, Balram was all over the places. Wherever people tried to just even touch Krishna or attack the Dwarka, Balram would take charge and defeat and destroy everyone. And this is one of the reasons we have to understand that our mindset should also be that how we can serve the Lord without any and desire to enjoy the position. And also the austerities that we do in the service of Krishna makes Balramji very happy. And when Balramji is happy, like when your Guru is happy, so he blesses you, and that blessing invokes the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti mashritaha. So that is how we become under the ashraya of Srimati Radharani. And once that happens, that is the grace of the Lord. So they say that, without the grace of the Lord, one cannot become happy and prosperous, because the happiness of the family of the Lord's devotee depends upon the happiness of the Lord. So once the Lord is happy by our services, prosperity and happiness will automatically be a part of our life. Hare Krishna. Any doubts before we go to the next?
प्रभु सूरसेन वो उग्रसेन थे ना उनके फादर तो.
Yeah, there are two names for that, Shurasen and Ugrasen.
अच्छा, it is same.
Yeah, I'll get you the details of that. Why that name Shurasen is there actually.
और प्रभु, I tell you the मतलब the thing problem in हिंदी translation, इसी उसको मैं हिंदी में, मेरे पास वो ग्रंथ है तो मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. श्री कृष्ण के निकटतम अंश बलदेव हैं और गर्भोदक्षाय विष्णु की नाभि से निकले कमल से उत्पन्न ब्रह्मा बलदेव के अंश हैं.
जी.
This was a translation which gives a very different meaning. I underlined it when I read it कि आपसे लेकिन अब मेरे को इंग्लिश का देखने से समझ में आया है.
नहीं, इसमें कैसा है कि सब कुछ कृष्ण से ही आता है, लेकिन कृष्ण से जैसे ही बलराम सेपरेट होता है तो बलराम अपने ऊपर सब कुछ ले लेता है. इनकी ऑल द क्रिएशन ऑफ द वैकुंठा, क्रिएशन ऑफ द गोलोका, क्रिएशन ऑफ द भूलोका, expansions, all avatars come from Balram. तो जब all avatars come from Balram, तो technically speaking जो गर्भोदक्षय विष्णु है वो संकर्षण से बाहर आता है, द्वितीय संकर्षण, जो गोलोक चार्ट में बताया, और वहां से फिर गर्भोदक्षय विष्णु निकल के करते हैं. तो फर्स्ट कनेक्टिविटी बलराम से है, फाइनल कनेक्टिविटी कृष्णा से है. दैट वे. क्लियर है प्रभु?
Yes, yes, प्रभु.
Recording in progress.
Prabhu, I heard of a little bit kind of a different story that Surasen is the father of Ugrasen and Vasudev was the son of Surasen, and that's why they were related to each other, sort of. Don't know the truth behind it.
वो एक्चुअली कैसा है कि जो फैमिली चार्ट है ना प्रभु, एक या दो टाइप के है. दैट इज द रीजन आई थॉट दैट आई विल मेक ए चेकअप एंड गेट बैक टू यू प्रभु, बिकॉज डिफरेंट आचार्यज आर पुटिंग डिफरेंट कमेंट्स ओवर हियर. तो हम लोग एक मिनट. हाँ, so there is nothing here in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur book also. Do that. Can you go to verse number 26 again, Prabhu? In the house of Surasena, Suragehe. See, now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur converts Suragehe as house of Vasudev, and either Srila Prabhupada likhte hai house of Surasena. So there itself there are two different views now. So that's the reason, though they have made it as Surasena, here it says, do the eternal Krishna and Balram who appeared on this earth through the prayers of Brahma, producing auspicious on the earth, reside happily in the house of Vasudev. So I will get back to the full chart, Prabhuji. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu. Anyway, it could generally be the head of the family is generally known as his house, sort of. No? So aisa
True.
hoga.
But it is better to have the idea about it, Prabhu, because sometimes
Yes.
it can be confusing.
Correct, correct.
Okay, we'll go to the verse 27. Kachit kurunam Ramasurano Paramasurano Bhamasaste Sukhamanga Shaurihi Yovais Swarishnam Yovais Marishnam Pitravad Dadati Varan Vadanyo Varatarpanena. Translation.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Please tell me whether the best friend of the Kurus, our brother-in-law Vasudeva, is doing well. He is very munificent. He is like father of his sisters and is always pleasing to his wives. Purport. Lord Krishna's father Vasudeva had 16 wives, and one of them named Pauravi or Rohini, the mother of Baladeva, was the sister of Vidura. Vasudeva therefore was the husband of Vidura's sister, and thus they were brother-in-law. Vasudeva's sister Kunti was the wife of Pandu, Vidura's elder brother, and in that sense also Vasudeva was brother-in-law of Vidura. Kunti was younger than Vasudeva, and it was the duty of the elder brother to treat younger sisters as daughters. Whenever anything was needed by Kunti, it was munificently delivered by Vasudeva. Due to his great love for his younger sister, Vasudeva never dissatisfied his wives, and at the same time he supplied the objects desired by his sister. He had special attention for Kunti because she became a widow at an early age. While inquiring about Vasudeva's welfare, Vidura remembered all about him and the family relationship. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
So this is a self-explanatory purport about giving the relationship, but what is the gist of it? The gist of it is the expertise of Vasudeva in managing the happiness of his wife and taking care of the requirement of the sister. So whenever anything was needed by Kunti, it was munificently divided by Vasudeva due to the great love for younger sister. But Vasudeva never dissatisfied his wife at the same time, applied the object desired by the sister. So this balance in Kali Yuga is actually a disaster because it's not easy. There are times when in the house you see there are so many fights happening that, oh, your sister has come, you are only thinking about your sister. Sister will come and say, Shadi ke baad, you are only thinking about your wife. So the man is not given a chance to actually reciprocate in the right way. But from here we can understand that how to do it. Supplied the objects desired by his sister, and he never dissatisfied his wife. And what was the reason for that? Suppose if Kunti's husband would have been there, who was the Chakravarti Samrat Pandu, then ye sab karne ka zarurat nahi hai. But she was a widow with 5 children. So in that situation, who will take care of her? She has no source of earning. The children are small. So that time Vasudeva has to, the elder brother, normally who's termed as a father, the Shastra says that once the father departs, the son of the family becomes like a father. Even though he's younger than the sisters, suppose there are 3 children, 2 sisters and a brother, the brother is the youngest, but still he's termed as the father because there is a reflection of the father in the son. So then he has to take charge of the family and do it. So this is what has been explained over here, that he had a special attention for Kunti because she became a widow at an early age. While inquiring about Vasudeva's welfare, Vidura remembered all about him and family relationship. Hare Krishna. Any thought process in this, or we can go to 28? Okay. Now this is an interesting shloka. Achidvaruta pudir yadunam pradyumane aste sukhamangaviraha yam rukmini bhagavato abhili babehe aradya vipran smaramadi sarge.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O Uddhava, please tell me, how is Pradyumna, the commander-in-chief of the Yadur, who was Cupid in a former life, Rukmini before him as her son from Lord Krishna by the grace of Brahmanas whom she pleased? According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Mara, Cupid or Kamadeva, is one of the eternal associates of the Lord. Jiva Goswami has explained this very elaborately in his treatise, Krishna Sandarbha. Hare Krishna.
What we will do is, we will come back to Shloka 28 after finishing reading all the verses, because this has to be expanded a little bit, so we will work it out. Yeah. Achit sukham satvata vrishniya bhoja दाशारकणानां अधिपसास्ते यम्याभ्यसिंस्ते छटपत्र नेत्रो निपाशशाणं परिहृत्य दूरात्.
Krishna. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. Jai Sri Prabhupada. O my friend, tell me whether Ugrasen, the king of Satvatas, Vrishnis, Bhojas, and Dasharhas, is now doing well. He went far away from his kingdom, leaving aside all hopes of his royal throne, but Lord Krishna again installed him. Hare Krishna.
So here Ugrasen has come again. He is the king of Satvatas, Vishnis, Bhojas, and Darashas. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Kachidharahe Saumya Sutta Sadraksha Haste Agranani Katinam Sadhu Shambhu Sambha Asutoyam Jambavati Vritadiyadhyam Deva Maguyam Yo Ambikaya Dritogre.
O gentle one, does Sambha fare well? He exactly resembles the son of the prosperity of the Godhead. In a previous birth, he was born as Kartikeya in the womb of the wife of the Lord Shiva, and now he has been born in the womb of Jambavati, the most enriched wife of Krishna. Lord Shiva, one of the three qualitative incarnations of the personality of the Godhead, is the plenary expansion of the Lord Kartikeya, born of him, is on the level of Pradyuman, another son of Lord Krishna. When Lord Shri Krishna descends into the material world, all his plenary portions also appear with him to exhibit different functions of the Lord. But the pastimes of Vrindavan, all functions are performed by the Lord, different plenary expansions. Vasudev is a plenary expansion of Narayan, where the Lord appeared as Vasudev before Devaki and Vasudeva. He appeared in his capacity as Narayan. Similarly, all the demigods of the heavenly kingdom appeared as associates of the Lord in the forms of Pradyuman, Sambha, Uddhav, etc. It is learned here that Kamadev appeared as Pradyuman, Kartikeya as Sambha, and one of the Vasus as Uddhav. All of them served in their different capacities in order to enrich the pastimes of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
You can go to verse 31.
Prabhu,
Yeah.
If you don't mind, can I just add a point here?
Yeah,
With
please.
your kind permission. So, meaning many people, because that English accentuated characters are not understood properly. The name Vasudev and Vasudev is mixed up. So here also, while the sentence, when the Lord appeared as Vasudev before Devaki and Vasudev, it was spoken as Vasudev and Devaki and Vasudev. So actually, Vasudev is Krishna, Vasudev is father. So because of meaning being the son of Vasudev, it is Vasudev. So we have to be careful when we read this to see whether the accentuated character, there is a horizontal line above A, which should be pronounced as A instead of A. Thank you, bro. Sorry.
Thank you. So we'll go to verse number 31, then we'll come back to all these verses. Kesham sakajit jiyudana asate yat falgunal labdadhanau rashayah lebe anjas adhokshaj sevaya eva gatim tadiyam yat virdurapam. Durapam. Yeah.
Translation and purport by Sri Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. O Uddhava, does Yuddhadhana fare well? Yuyudhana, farewell. He learned the intricacies of the military art from Arjuna and attained the transcendental destination, which is very difficult to reach even for great renouncers. Purport. The destination of transcendence is to become the personal associate of the personality of Godhead, who is known as Adokshaja, he who is beyond the reach of the senses. The renouncers of the world, sannyasis, give up all worldly connections, namely family, wife, children, friends, home, wealth, everything to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahmana happiness. But Adukshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. The empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendental quality of bliss by philosophical speculation of the supreme truth. But beyond that pleasure is the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman in his eternal form of the personality of Godhead. Brahman bliss is enjoyed by living entities after liberation from material bondage. But Parabrahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys eternally a bliss of his own potency, which is called the Aladani potency. The empiric philosopher who studies Brahman by negation of the external features has not yet learned the quality of the Aladani potency of Brahman. Out of many potencies of the omnipotent, there are three features of his eternal potency, namely Samvit, Sandhini, and Haladani. And in spite of their strict adherence to the principles of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Dhyana, Dharana, and Pranayam, the great yogis and jnanis are unable to enter into the internal potency of the Lord. This internal potency is, however, easily realized by the devotees of the Lord by dint of devotional service. Yuyudhana achieved this stage of life, just as he achieved expert knowledge in military science from Arjuna. Thus, his life was successful to the fullest extent from both the material and spiritual angles of vision. That is the way of devotional service to the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, Yuyudhana is Satyaki, basically, the commander-in-chief of the Narayani Sena. He was a student of Arjuna. He learned from Arjuna the military science, and he also learned from Arjuna the devotional service, because Arjuna was Sakha of Krishna, devotee of Krishna, and he was Anusuya. He didn't have any envy towards Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada beautifully mentions that, how one has to avail the process of going back home, back to Godhead, and become Krishna's personal associate, which is not an easy thing. It looks like, oh, we will reach there, but no. Just going beyond the senses itself is a big task for all of us. And then we have to give up worldly connections, family, wife, children, friends, home. And in case for the Matajis, it is family, husband, children, friends, everything to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahman happiness. But when we say Adhokshaj, it is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Kshochirina Kankshadi. You have to go beyond Brahma Bhuta. So the empiric philosophers enjoy transcendental quality bliss by philosophical speculation on supreme truth. But beyond that pleasure, the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman in his eternal form of personality of Godhead. Now, when we go to the spiritual world, so there is a service for us. And in that service, we are connected to the Lord eternally. And that is where it says that the Parabrahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys bliss of his own potency, which is called Haladini potency. And this is the same Haladini potency. She is the Daivi Prakriti of the Lord. In the material world, it is Mama Maya Duratya. Daivi Isha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratya. But for the devotees, it is Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Daivim Prakriti Mashritaha. The empiric philosopher who studies Brahman by negation of external features has not yet learned the qualities of Haladini potency. Why they are unable to do the Haladini potency understanding is because there could be two reasons. A, they are happy with where they are. They don't want to go ahead and see what is there. B, they feel that this is the ultimate position of the Lord, and the personal features of the Lord is made out of material form, and that is of Maya. So in this, there are two scenarios again. If you are a Brahmanandi but you are not against or averse to accepting Krishna's form, then it is same like the four. Hurry, close the door. So then, if you are Brahmanandi, like, who are the two personalities? You can put it as Brahmanandi over here, who are happy to be in Brahma because they did not have the knowledge about Krishna's personal form. There are two personalities in Bhagavatam. One is
Shukadev
Shukadeva
Goswami
Goswami himself, yes,
and Char Kumar.
and the four Kumaras. So these were Brahmanandis, happy. But when they smelled the Tulsi Manjaris offered to the Lord, the devotional service Jagrut hua. And same is when Vyasa spoke the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, the Brahmanandis became Premanandis and they became Paramanandis. So they attained the supreme destination. Same way, in spite of their strict adherence to the principle of Yam, Niyam, Asan, Dhyana, Dharana and Pranayam, the yogis are unable to enter the internal potency of the Lord. Why they are unable to enter the internal potency of the Lord? There is a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna concludes the Dhyana Yoga chapter with 748. It says that 647, sorry. Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmanaha. Now you see this word. Can you just highlight this particular line? Adherence to the principle of Yam Niyam. Until the internal potency of the Lord. Yeah. So here, if you go to see, these are all physical, metaphysical, and psychological levels. Yam means what to do. Niyam means what not to do. Asan means posture. Dhyana means, and there is, Dhyana means concentration. Dharana means to take full concentration. Pranayam and Samadhi. So pranayam means the air control. You can control the pranavayu. Now what happens? These are all superficial. There is nothing connected to the Lord. Maybe in the dhyan, you can say dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa. But what kind of dhyan do you think you can have? On whom to do the dhyan? So then Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tato mata. O Kunti Putra Arjun, maybe can you go to the 647, Prabhu? Let's just read the meaning of that so that it makes it very, very, very clear. Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, last one, 47. So just go a little bit up so that we can see the translation also. Yes. Yeah, okay. Keep it that way. So you see, of all the yogis, one with great faith always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga, is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Now, whose opinion matters here? Please tell me. For all of us, whose opinion matters?
Krishna's opinion.
Krishna's opinion.
See, now you see, he says, most intimately united with me. Now, if you see that verse also there, Satyaki was the student of Arjuna and he got intimately connected with Krishna in his personal region. So this is the reason why a devotee is always dear to Krishna. So, okay, you can do the Dhyana Yoga also, but Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madkaten. Madkate means to think about me always. Okay, we'll take one more verse for the day. Could you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th Canto? Maybe you can open a fresh page. Chapter 13, verse number 1. So if you go to the third line, it says, Dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogina. Now, what is the meaning of the word tadgatena? If you see there in the word by word meaning, just go a little bit down. Yeah. Tadgatena means fixed upon him. And now you come to Bhagavad Gita 647. Madgatena means abiding by me, always thinking about me. So any difference in this two, Prabhujis and Matajis? Krishna is telling Madgatena because Krishna is speaking. There
No doubt.
Shukadeva Goswami is speaking, so he's telling Tadgatena. So meditation is very, very important. But how to just go to again the Bhagavatam verse, that 12:1:13, 12:13:1. Yeah. So it says, Yam Brahma Varun Indra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti Divves Tavair Vedai Sanga Pada Kramopanishadir Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyana Vastita Tadgate Namanasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginam Yasyantam na Vidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. This verse is sung in lot of programs when you have any puja, any homam, or Graha Pravesh. They will use this in a Mangala Shruti. Yam means, it says Yam Brahma Varun Indra Rudra. Matlab Brahma, Varun, Indra, Rudra, Maruta. Stunvanti, praise, Divya, with transcendental, Stavai, prayers. And where are these prayers from? They are from Samaveda, Samaga, the singers of Samaveda. And in which way? Dhyana Vastita. So they close their eyes and they are praying to Lord. On whom? That personality of Godhead Krishna, these people are trying to see. Yogina. Again, you see the word Yogina. So again, this is connected to Bhagavad Gita. Now, with all these processes, when you are in the direct service of the Lord, we can go to our Bhagavatam page, the one that we are doing today. Yeah. Can you come to the translation? Yeah. So it tells that the destination of the transcendental to become a personal associate of the Lord, who is known as Adokshaja. Now, what is the advantage that Yudhana had so that he could become the personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What was the connectivity? See the last line. It says Yudhana achieved this stage of life just as he achieved the expert. Yeah. So when he learned the military science from Arjuna, definitely it was not only up to the military science. There were spiritual science also being discussed, because as a guru, Arjuna will definitely train his shishya into getting those knowledge which will be useful for him to go ahead back home, back to Godhead. So it means under any condition, tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. One should have a guru, and that guru should be in parampara, and he should be the pure devotee of the Lord. So all these three things, requirements were fulfilled over here. That one should have a guru. So Satyaki took a guru. He should be in parampara. Arjun is in parampara. He should be the pure devotee of the Lord. Arjun definitely was the devotee of the Lord, and he was his sakha. So once you fulfill these things, then your way to go home back to Godhead starts. Any doubts, any questions in this?
Prabhu, something about these two Haldani,
Aladini Shivtanshi.
that is okay. Radharani is said to be like that. But what is Samvit and Sandhani?
Samvit and Sandhini, actually, if you go to see in perspective, this is Balram's potency. Haladini is Radharani potency. So Samvit is the knowledge and Sandhini is the expansion. There will be a class on this. I'll be making a report notes, and I will present it to you in a presentation format whenever I come next time, because it's elaborate, it's nice, and you will be able to know it. Just a minute. Let me see if I can show you Sandhini Shakti. Just a minute. So if you go to see Sat Chit Ananda, yeah, we say Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. Okay. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karan. So Sat Chit Ananda are the three main energies. In that, the Sandhini Shakti is the Sat Shakti of the Lord, the potency that sustains Krishna's divine nature and protects his devotees. Samvit Shakti is Krishna's all-knowing nature, Chit. Krishna knows everything. So his potency that enables Krishna to perceive and know everything. Like he is called, the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Janma Dasya Yatonva Itirisas Charitesha Abhignya and Swarat. Abhignya means, Swarat means supremely independent, and Abhignya means all-knowing. So the Samvit Shakti is the Abhignya Shakti of the Lord. It is all-knowing. And Haladini Shakti is the potency, is the pleasure potency of the bliss, is responsible for generating Krishna's eternal bliss. So Haladini is governed by Radharani, Sandhini and Samvit Shakti is governed by Shri Balram. And we can just I think the Chaitanya Charitamrita gives the complete details on that. I will post it on the group, Prabhu. Okay? With all the details.
Okay, okay.
So anything else other than this?
No, Prabhu.
So we will go back to that verse of Pradyumna, number 28. It's 28, yeah. Yeah, 28. So now, if you see this verse, it says, just keep the verse here. Verse with translation. Yes, that's okay. Kachit Varutapadir Yadunam. So he says, Varuta means military, Adipati means commander-in-chief, Yadunam means of Yadus. Pradyumna Aste Sukham. So is he happy? Because he is Anga Veeraha. He is a great warrior, O Uddhava. And then it says that Yam Rukmini Bhagavata Avilebehe Aradya Vipram Smara Adi Sarge. So who was born to Rukmini and Krishna by doing the service to the Brahmana, and he was Smaramadi Sarge, means in the previous Janma he was Kamadev. So the question over here is that, was really Pradyumna Kamdev in the previous birth? So how many of you know the story of Kamdev, who was burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva? You remember the story when Lord Shiva was in meditation, in deep meditation, and Parvati wanted to marry him, so they were doing tapasya. And there was an asur by the name called Tarakasur, who got a benediction from Brahma that only the son of Shiva can kill me. Now, Shiva had gone into a meditation and he would not get into a conjugal relationship. And he had discharged his semen completely from his body. And that discharged semen became the gold and the silver mines on the earth. This is there from Valmiki Ramayana, what I am quoting. And then it so happened that some partial part of it was given to Agni Dev. That because the temperature of the semen is so high that other than Agni Dev, nobody can sustain, or other than the womb of Parvati. Now, with Lord Shiva sitting in meditation, Kamdev was told by Brahmadev that you have to get him out of the meditation and create a desire of getting married to Parvati. So at that point of time, when Kamdev was trying to disturb him, suddenly Lord Shiva felt that he could not concentrate anymore on his dhyana. And he opened his eyes and saw that Kamdev hit the 3 arrows of Kam Vasna. So Lord Shiva was a little bit disturbed, but at the same time he was angry, and as a Rudra form he opened his third eye and burned Kamdev to ashes. Now, his wife Rati begged of Lord Shiva that I cannot stay without my husband. So Lord Shiva said that in the next Janma, Kamdev will come as a son of Krishna and Rukmini in Dwapar Yuga. So till then you have to wait. So that is the Smaram Adi Varge, Adi Sarge. The point what we are trying to tell over here is that Kamdev is a Devata and Pradyuman kaun hai? I told you about the Chaturvyuha. You can stop the sharing so that we can see each other. And if required, I'll open this. Yeah.
Pradyumna is one of the Chaturvyuhas, no, Prabhu?
Yes. So Pradyumna is Vishnu Tattva and Kamdev is Devata. So how can Kamdev become Pradyuman? Just think about it, that how Kamdev can become Pradyuman as son. No. What Lord Shiva said that you will be born means at that point of time when Pradyuman came as the son of Krishna, Kamdev was able to enter the body of Pradyuman and get a physical feature. And that is how he got married to Rati. Because a Devata cannot become Vishnu. But Vishnu can accept a Devata in his body. Because from Vishnu only all the Devatas come. Is this point clear?
Prabhu,
Yes,
can you repeat this point that Kamadev entered the body or Pradyumna
Yeah,
entered the
Kamdev was allowed by Krishna to enter into the body of Pradyumana. Because Pradyumana is a Vishnu Tattva. So Vishnu Tattva cannot be, a Devata cannot become Vishnu Tattva. The meaning is elaborately given by Jiva Goswami in Krishna Sandarbha that Vishnu Tattva, when he comes, he will be having all the qualities of Krishna. So if you go to see Krishna, Pradyuman, Aniruddha. So Krishna is Vasudev. So Vasudev, Pradyuman, Aniruddha and Sankarshan is Balram. So the four personalities are there. So one is the original personality, one is the extended personality, one is the Amsha, and the next is Amsha. So the same thing happens when because in the next paragraph also it is said that Kartikeya, Samba was Kartikeya. Now, Kartikeya again cannot become Samba because Samba is again Vishnu Tattva and Kartikeya is Shiva Tattva. But the qualities of Kartikeya will come in Samba. You take the case of Prishni and Sutapa. They became Vasudeva and Devaki. Actually, they did not become Vasudeva and Devaki. When Vasudeva and Devaki are the eternal associates of the Lord. So from the Goloka, when Vasudeva and Devaki came down, and since Prishni and Sutapa were given the benediction that you will become the parent of the Lord, so they were able to enter the body of the Vasudeva and Devaki and enjoy the bliss of parenting Krishna. This is how it works, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Because the eternal associates of the Lord are just coming and playing their part in Krishna Leela, in the Nara Leela of the Lord. Because Krishna is in the form of a human, so they follow certain decorums and all. They follow, like now when Rukmini prayed to Brahmanas. Do you really feel Rukmini has to pray to Brahmana to get a child? Or take the blessings of the Brahmana? Or for that matter, Sita went to the, Valmiki ashram so that she can get the blessings for her child, Love and Kush. But because they are in the human form, they traditionally follow the social customs so that we can also follow them and they become Yad Yad Acharati Sreshta. Otherwise, Krishna says, Namama Karmani Limpanti. No karma is touching me. But I do it because if I do not do, common man will also think I need not work. So all these things that when you see, they will have the Amsha of the Lord and they will come into the body of the Vishnu Tattvas or Krishna's associates and get the feel of parenting or get the feel of association. That's how it goes, Prabhu. Because it is impossible that Kamdev can become Pradyuman. But definitely Pradyuman can accommodate Kamdev in his body. Any doubts in this?
Prabhuji, can you please explain the same example of Prishni and Sutapa, Prabhu? Vasudeva and Devaki.
Yeah.
What?
Prishni and Sutapa meditated on the Lord in Satyug to get him as their child. So he came as Prishni Garbha the first time. He took the birth and came. Then in second time, he came as Vamana. So the child of Kashyap and Aditi. And the third day, Prishni and Sutapa, in the third area, when it was Prishni and Sutapa, they entered into the body of Vasudeva and Devaki. It's not that Prishni became Devaki and Sutapa became Vasudeva. No, you cannot. Because these are eternal associates of the Lord. These are the eternal associates of the Lord. You cannot take their form. You cannot take their quality. But if you want to be the parent of the Lord, then you are able to enter into the body of the original parents of the Lord, Vasudeva and Devaki. And from there, you are able to understand the bliss. Like, for example, let me put it this way. How does it happen, Prabhu? This is little bit difficult to understand. Is there a confusion in this?
No, Prabhu, it's clear now.
It's clear, no? Because suppose अगर किसी के बॉडी में भूत प्रेत चला गया तो भूत प्रेत उसके बॉडी में क्यों जाता है? Because he does not have a subtle body, gross body. So he wants to enter and feel that pleasure or give that pain. So if it is possible on our level, why not it is possible on the Lord's level? Same way, in case of Duryodhan, when he was born, an amsh of Kali was there inside his body. Just to give us an understanding that because it was the end of Dwapar Yuga and the start of Kali Yuga, it was a Sandhi. It was a time when both are connected. So when Duryodhan ordered his brother that go and make Draupadi Nirvastra, that was the effect of Kali, that was what was going to come. That in Kali Yuga, the women will be treated as a commodity and only as a desire of fulfillment, an object of fulfillment, sorry. So when it happens this way, then we should understand that the eternal Lord has allowed Pradyumna's body to be used by Kamdev or Cupid. And the same goes for all the other avatars also. The same goes for all the other avatars who came as the associate of the Lord. Like technically speaking, Kartikeya is the commander-in-chief. Now you go to see Samba had the amsha of in previous Janma was Kartikeya, they say. It means what? That Samba empowered Kartikeya to be the son of Lord Shiva. Not that Samba went and became Kartikeya. And these things, how you come to know? In the material world, all the devatas who are there, right from Brahma, except 6 personalities, Vishnu, Shiva, Parvati, Ganesh, Surya Narayan and Kartikeya. These are personalities. Rest all are positions. Rest all are positions. You can become Indra, you can become, Chandra, you can become Vayu, you can become Nareti, you can become Varuna, you can become Brahma, and so many other personalities you can become. So Kartikeya was the amsha of Lord Shiva and empowered by Samba. So in this way, the Vishnu Tattva was the empower. Like when the globe is created, just a minute, let me just put the Goloka chart and I will show you. Can you see the chart, everybody? चार्ट नजर आ रहा है सबको?
Yes, Prabhuji.
ये जो एम्पावरमेंट का जो मैं बताया ना, वो कैसे होता है मालूम है? Before Garbhodakshaya, Vishnu enters into this globe, he is somewhere here outside, standing. And all the Devatas who are the Parshad of the Lord from Vaikuntha, all this, you see, these are eternal associates. You see? So you have Agni, Indra, here is Indra. So these Devatas, they do not come as Indra in the material world. They are the personal Parshadas of the Lord. So they come down here on the covering and be in front of the Lord. And whichever soul is going to be that particular post, suppose now I am going to be Indra. So the spiritual Indra comes and gives me a power of attorney so that I can work on his behalf. That's how it works, Prabhu. So same way, from the spiritual world also, the empowerment comes so that the material world can learn sufficiently and nicely. So all these devatas, they will come and give the power of attorney, and then the Lord takes those souls into his womb, and the first soul to be coming out is Sri Brahmadev, who is also our Guru from Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, and he is empowered to make this Srishti. Then later on he empowers, okay, this soul will become Indra, and this is the power of attorney. On his behalf, these are your job responsibilities. That's how it works. Is that clear?
प्रभु ये जो प्रद्युमन है, एक और प्रद्युमन भी थे जिनको कि वो जो किसी मछली ने खा लिया था और फिर
नहीं वही है।
अच्छा, ये वही।
हाँ, उस असुर, वो जो असुर है, उस बच्चे को उठा के समुद्र में फेंक देता है, उसको मछली खा जाती है, लेकिन वो कुछ हो नहीं पाता। फिर आखिर में वो जब बड़े होने के बाद माँ से मिलता है, वो उसका पूरा स्टोरी है इसमें।
हाँ, कृष्णा,
he is the same Pradyuman, he is the same Pradyuman.
तो he is a Vishnu Tattva.
Yeah, he is a Vishnu Tattva. That Pradyuman is over here. See, I'll show you. That is this Sri Pradyumani. That is this one from Goloka.
Okay.
So these are all Vishnu Tattvas, Prabhu, and they are the one who govern the jivas. Yeah. Any other doubts? Any questions?
प्रभु आज की क्लास ऐसी हो गई जैसे किसी एमबीए के लेक्चरर से बीए फर्स्ट क्लास का लेक्चर दिलवा रहे हैं।
Yeah.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, in one body can have the multiple souls. There are many personalities in Chaitanya Leela.
Yeah.
So how to understand this, Prabhu? For example, Shri Advait Gosai is having Shiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva both together, and there are many such personalities who are having the multiple souls.
Prabhu, it is not multiple souls, it is multiple qualities. Like Advaita Acharya will have the quality of Sadashiv and Mahavishnu. Both he will manifest both in different times. And they can accommodate, because being a Vishnu Tattva, the primary soul will be Advaita Acharya. The secondary souls which are inside, they will act according to the primary soul. These are a little bit technical issues actually, but it has been explained nicely by Jiva Goswami. Like for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna both, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
है ना? So वैसे एक like Nityanand is Balram, Sankarshan, and the Karbodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, Karanodaksha Vishnu. All is in Nityananda. Just a minute. Since you have asked a question, let me do this for you. Prabhu, we have some time. Subal Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
एक minute. I have something which will give you a clear idea about how it works. Subal Prabhu, I will send you one file.
Okay, Prabhu.
You just let me see.
Yeah, Prabhu. We received the file, Prabhu. Shall I share it here on the screen or?
देखो आया क्या
Okay.
share.
Bro, you may need to reduce the zoom a little bit.
एक minute. Better you share it. Zoom ज़्यादा हो गया ना. एक minute. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. अभी देखिए.
Yes, Prabhu.
अभी ठीक है ना?
Yes, it
So
is
like
fine.
this file I have shared it with you. इसको आराम से पढ़ना बैठ के. Who is who of Gaur Leela and Krishna Leela. तो देखिए मैं आपको लेके जाता हूँ नीचे. Now see this. Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Radha, Vrindavan Krishna, includes Dwarka Krishna, Vasudev Krishna, all incarnations of God. See? Nityananda Prabhu, Shri Haladhar Balram, Mula Sankarshan, all three Purusha, Ananta Shesha. Advaita Acharya, Shri Sadashiv plus Mahavishnu. Shrivas, Radharani plus Lalita plus Hari. Narad Muni, the Guru of devotees, is Srivas. Then again, Shri Vishwarupa is Sankarshan. Navdvip Dham is Vrindavan, Golok, Shvetadvip, Vaikuntha. So you see, these all tattvas are ingrained. This is from Gaura Ganodesha book. Sita Devi, wife of Advaita, is Yogmaya and Katyayani. Sachi Mata, Yashoda, Devaki, Kaushalya, Aditi, Prishni, Jagannath Mishra, Nand, Vasudev, Dashrath, Kashyap, Sutapa. You got this, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Very nice.
है ना?
Very
आप
good.
इसको बैठ के पढ़िए. There are so many names I have put over here. Jada nahi dala because there were more than 200 names. I just took the top 60 because now see this. Gauridas Pandit is Subal. Kamalakar people is Mahabala. Then Udharan Datta is Subhahu. Abhi Subhahu sab humko bhi idea nahi hai kaun hai bol ke. So we can just understand this and work it out from there. And then the petals are there, that who is who in which group and which group. Each one are, these are all the और क्या बोलते हैं kirtan and dancing group in front of Jagannath temple. That
Thank
clears
you
it,
very much.
Prabhuji?
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you. So the Sandhini and Sambit Shakti also, I'll prepare something like this and share it as a documented version so that each one of you can have a referential aid. Would that be okay, Subal?
Sure,
Okay,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thanks a lot. Always your class is wonderful, very informative. All doubt clearing sessions are embedded in your class. So
Thank you, Prabhuji. Just
anybody
keep me
has
in
any
your
question?
prayers.
Sorry, Prabhu. Sorry.
I said, just keep me in your prayers that I have good health and good energy.
It will always be, Prabhu. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Sure, Prabhuji. We want it.
Hare
So
Krishna.
any
Hare
doubts, any
Krishna.
questions by anybody?
Prabhuji, one single question, like we are studying and all those things, but actually the purpose of life is like chanting Krishna, right?
Yes.
Means what I'm saying, if he understand these things, if he doesn't understand these things, also fine, Prabhuji.
See, these things are required to just have no doubts in your life. But if you keep chanting, it's like, I'll tell you the short story. There was a great Vedic Brahmana who would always chant the Vedas in a very perfect way, and Narad Muni got attracted to him. So Narad Muni, for all good reasons, being a devotee of the Lord, went and spoke
Prabhuji,
to
you're
Krishna.
talking?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I'm just telling in this Sandarbha, one short story is there. So the Brahmana is very qualified and very knowledgeable. So Narad Muni goes to the Lord and asks him that I wish that this soul is liberated and he comes to you. When can he come to you? So when Narad Muni is passing by the house of the Brahmana, he sees one cobbler also, Mochi. The Mochi is doing some seva and singing Ramakrishna Hari. He's just taking the names of the Lord and enjoying and working. So Narad is very little bit happy with him also. But he goes because he wants to check whether the Brahmanas, when he can come to the Vaikuntha. So Krishna whispers something in the ears of Narad and says, go and do this and you will get the answer. So Narad Muni goes back to the Brahmana after 2 days and Brahmana is very happy. He says, oh Narada, you are back. Please tell me what is my status. When can I go to Vaikuntha? He said Krishna was busy, so I could not ask him. So what was he doing? He said he had a needle in his hand and he was pulling an elephant from the needle eye. So the Brahmana was little bit thoughtful. He said, sir, you think I'm a fool? How can somebody remove an elephant out of the eye of the needle? Please don't cut such jokes for me. I'm a serious person. So Narada says, okay, when I have time, I will check with the Lord and get back to you. Then he comes out. He said, let me test this Mochi. He tells the Mochi, you know what Krishna was doing? So Mochi says, he is always doing something interesting, Baba. How do I know what he does? But whatever he does is very interesting and very nice. He says, anyway, since you have asked me, tell me. He says he was pulling an elephant from the eye of the needle. So he starts to laugh. He says, why are you laughing? He's sitting under a banyan tree. He takes a small seed of banyan tree, opens it and says, there are so many seeds in this. He says, if my Lord can put this big banyan tree in such a small seed, pulling an eye from an elephant from the eye of the needle is nothing. So what does it show over here? That innate faith in Krishna's name and Krishna's potencies, then you may not require to know everything. But little bit knowledge you should have so that you will not make seva aprad or nam aprad. So knowledge is required to ensure that we know the do's and don'ts and ensure that we concentrate on the do's and we avoid the don'ts. Otherwise, everything is fine. Yeah, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's
Yeah.
clear. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you,
Thank you.
for always a wonderful class.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. We'll catch up soon.
Jai. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Let's
Hare
chant
Krishna.
the Vaishnav Pranam mantra before we leave.
Yeah.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
And
Ananta
wish you
koti
all a very
Vaishnav ki
happy
jai.
नरसिंह चतुर्दशी. कल नरसिंह चतुर्दशी है तो सभी लोग फास्टिंग रखना and just chant this verse. It is 5th canto, chapter 18, verse number 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya Namaste Jaste Jase Avir Bhava Vajranakha Vajradramsha Karmasaya Randaya Randaya Grasa Om Grasa Grasa Om Swaha Abhaya Bhaidan Purishta Om Shram. It's a beautiful verse. It will take away all the negatives from your life and it will give you the potency to remember Krishna every time. So this is 5:18:8.
I'll put that in the group. So,
Yeah. And there is another verses 7:10:10. These two verses, Prabhu, these are the Mool mantras, and it is worth meditating on these days, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
sure. Thank you.
Prabhuji, where is Prabhuji? Bhagavatam or where?
Bhagavatam. Subal Prabhu will put it.
I'll put it in the
Okay.
group.
Okay.
So
Okay,
two
Prabhu.
verses, 5:18:8 and 7:10:10.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.